People are a bit surprised. So I hope he has no fans left to put money on his account. He always
Man, ain't nobody putting shit on his account. That nigga fell off now. Good luck trying to build back your fucking fan base, my nigga. Anybody that's going is already on the wrong side right now, bro. Anybody that's going wanting him to be free, saying hashtag set David free, my nigga. They should go right along with his ass, dog. What the
Stupid.
fuck?
I'm not gonna let you
will
get
That
the
young lady,
chance.
well,
bro. What
yeah,
the
he's in
fuck?
jail. It's
Acting like Mexican gangbangers who recruit children at 12 years old are gonna be all upset about David is definitely something special. If they are mad, it's because they wanted to get to her first. Fuck Mexican child molesting. That kind of sounds racially motivated.
to
I
her
ain't gonna
first.
hold you.
David is not having a good time
So
behind
we
bars,
watching another
people.
David
I
case.
found
Let's
out
get
some
it.
information about what's going on behind bars,
Yeah,
inside
what's
the
going on with
jail,
David
what are the
behind bars? That
conditions that
fucking
David is dealing
pedophile.
with, and it's very, very serious. He
Oh, I
looked
bet it
like he was a
is.
mess when I saw him in the court. Yes, yesterday morning I literally saw him in the court. He was
You
jingling
was
and
there. Oh shit.
jangling
Okay,
through the
okay, okay.
courtroom in shackles
I wonder if
in an
Rotten
orange
Mingo was there.
jumpsuit. He was really having the true prison experience by the looks of him,
I wonder
and
if Rotten
apparently
Mingo
the
was there.
situation is actually quite serious. And a lot of people will be happy to hear that because of the awful crimes against children that he's been accused of. All right, this is the latest. I'm going to break down everything about what's going on with him inside jail, behind the wall. They're saying he's not on S Watch, but there's no money.
You're not on Suicide Watch. Okay. Hold on. We about to go back. We about to go back. Damn, I don't know why I didn't just create a different fucking. Damn, that's my fault. No, she ain't really actually David case yet. Or the updates of the David situation. Are that
David is not having a good time behind bars, people.
no, he's
I've found
not.
out some information
No, he is not. All right,
by the
let's
looks
see.
of him, and apparently the situation is actually quite serious. And a lot of people will be happy to hear that because of the awful crimes against children that he's been accused of. All right, this is the latest. I'm going to break down everything about what's going on with him
You know what's going on with
inside
this nigga?
jail, behind the wall. They're saying he's not on S
Suicide
Watch,
Watch.
but there's
Okay.
no money on his jail books. So I don't know
Damn,
where all
none?
that music money is right
Oh God, where the fuck that should go? David is living a far different life than he was a week ago, trading his 15,000 a month LA rental for a cold jail cell with strict rules. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ the musician charged with murdering Celeste Rivas is being held in segregated single cell.
now.
Okay.
They're saying there's no money on his books. Says David is living a far different life than he was living a week ago. He traded his $15,000 a month LA rental for a
Like a
cold
fucking
jail cell with
dumbass.
strict rules. They're saying the rules are strict. They're saying he might got a
Bro, I'm gonna keep saying this shit, bro. When this case first broke and everybody was talking about, like, first of all, I only knew about this nigga because my girl ended up asking me, "Hey, you heard that shit that happened with David?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is David?" And then she showed me a few songs, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess I heard it on TikTok before or whatever." Bro, from there on my life, bro, like she was one of those people where she was like, well, some people were saying that he got fucking set up by the towing company. And I'm like, out of everybody the towing company could have set up because they were with some fucking cartel shit. Out of everybody they could have set up, they just so happened to pick the famous fucking the most famous mainstream singer out now. You know what I'm saying? The one that's just going up. You know what I'm saying? You know what the percentages of that happening on accident is, my nigga? Like, do you know the mathematical fucking chances of that happening? I don't believe in coincidences. And if you knew like the mathematical equation of like the 0.00001% of that shit happening, if you knew how much that really is versus a billion versus even a billion people in the world, much less 8 billion, how many has that fucking happened to? And it's just gonna so happily happen to the most famous person. Hell, fuck no, nigga. Like, it was just common sense. No, bro, this nigga did the shit.
he might got to do what
On God.
they tell him. All right, he ain't the boss man. He ain't the big celebrity in there. He just a number and some PDF allegations, some paperwork. All right. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ the musician charged with murdering Celeste Rivas is being held in a segregated single cell in the men's central jail. This is a serious big boy jail, all right? He ain't ready for the fades that he had lined up there.
No, he is not. David is escorted from his cell to the shower, which is allowed every other day. The singer is only allowed to make phone calls on the days he's allowed a shower. Oh, damn. Okay. Sources tell TMZ that David is allowed recreation time with fresh air, but only 3 hours per week. Damn. He has no contact. What's 3 hours per week? Like 30 minutes a day? Maybe? Nah, less than that. Maybe 20, 10. Well, there's 5 days in a week. It's around 15. Around 15 minutes a day. Damn, that shit is crazy. He has no contact with other inmates during the rec time. David does not have access to a television and cannot have visitors at this time. The sources reveal that David doesn't have any money on his books at the moment.
So David would be
Damn,
escorted from his cell to his shower. He allowed got to stay
that
in
shit is
the night to be
crazy.
says he's dirty and smells. The source described the facility as wild. David is locked up. Maybe he's going broke. In addition, one law enforcement source said the location where David is locked up is dirty and smells. The source described the facility as wild. He's not on S-Watch, according to sources, but other inmates who have been housed at this very jail include Blueface, Tory Lanez, Suge Knight, the Menendez brothers, and Danny Masterson.
Damn.
Says TMZ
Well, this
previously
is
reported David
Hollywood,
was
so
placed in segregation at the facility that can hold 5,640 inmates. So a rumor has it, all right, don't know if it's protective custody, if he's just
this nigga's a
segregated, he's
fucking
rolling it
weirdo,
up,
bro.
he's on voluntary protection. Who knows? But as we learned in the
Y'all
past few
think he
days,
might get
he
the
is
needle for real?
segregated. He is
I
not
don't know if
making
he'll
any
get the
friends.
needle, bro.
He's in the
I'm
LA
damn for
County
sure think he fakes it in life.
Central Jail. And he was in segregation because he's a noteworthy inmate. It means he'll be alone with his thoughts most of the day. He was held briefly without bail at the LAPD 77th Street Station Jail, which is a notoriously cracking spot for fades, from what I understand. But there's been some more
Is
details
that
of the
where he's
spot, the
being placed at?
77th Street Station. He was held briefly without bail at the LAPD 77th
Okay, he
Street Station
was.
Jail, which is a notoriously cracking spot for fades, from what I understand. But there's been some more details of his jail conditions released, and people have been kind of speculating and giving their thoughts on that. So this is David's current jail conditions in bullet points, according to
Bullet points
TMZ,
is
as we
crazy.
already discussed. Let's just quickly breeze through it.
Okay.
Segregated single cell, escorted to the shower only every other day, can only make phone calls on the days he showers, 3 hours of rec time a week, no contact with inmates during recreation time, no access to a TV, no visitors, no money on his books, dirty and smells bad. He's not on S-Watch. Okay. And people are saying, what a well-deserved downgrade after living his life in a $15,000 Hollywood Hills home. Crazy. Okay. Said, can you imagine spending years chronically online and then nothing? Hopefully he's losing just enough of his mind to be miserable, not to get off his charges. Says, oh, he should definitely be on S-Watch. They can't just let him escape life and punishment. Says, I feel like S-Watch is very necessary. I hope Celeste haunts his thoughts. Sounds too
No
nice.
cap.
Send him to the gulag. And
Send
it
him to the
says, no money on his
gulag.
books? Yeah. But it's a privilege to have snacks and stuff. It's not like he isn't being fed
It
free square
is.
meals, but might not be getting no snacks, no commissary, none of that stuff. This guy said, I only went there for processing in 2020 or 2010. And as I was transferred to Wayside, it was really dirty and old. I saw a guy get jumped in front of the holding cells across from me. They told me I was lucky to transfer since Wayside jail is supposedly better. It still sucked, but not as much as Central.
Y'all ever been locked up before? I've been locked up, but I've been locked up in juvenile for like only 2 weeks. It wasn't nothing too crazy and shit. But what I did to get locked up was crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. Tripping.
So apparently, he is actually currently housed in the same jail as another notorious inmate who we've discussed here on this channel before, Nick Reiner, who
Who the
murdered
fuck
his
is this?
Hollywood hotshot parents. He is apparently also in the same jail. And, you
God
know, I'm
damn.
actually quite eager to get some updates on that case. Now that I know how to navigate the courthouse, I might have to
Nigga
pull up.
talking about,
Might
no,
have to
I'm
pull up to the
eager.
Nick Reiner trial. Might have to see what Nicky Boy's got going on, right? I believe they're saying it's the real life Arkham Asylum. Nothing comes close to NYC's Federal Detention Center. You had 6ix9ine, El Chapo, Martin Shkreli, all these legends in there. So we got the TMZ article here. David moved to the same jail in LA as Nick Reiner. Okay, they're sharing the same roof. They're both locked up in the county. And they've been transferred to the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in downtown LA. Apparently, the law enforcement want him transferred there because authorities want him under better supervision because he's a celebrity inmate at the center of a high-profile case. That's where David is on administrative segregation, not S-Watch. And that's the exact building that he's in. I believe I've driven
Oh
past
shit! God damn!
this building before, you know.
Shit!
So Nick's been at the Twin Towers since at
Twin
least
Tower?
December. Well, he's awaiting trial for the double.
Twin
It's the
Tower, nigga.
exact building that
Hey, that damn near dude. Hey,
he's in. I
okay, it fits
believe I've
his
driven
name.
past this building before, you
Shit,
know.
Twin Towers.
So Nick's been at the Twin Towers since at least December. Well, he's awaiting trial for the double murder of his parents, Rob and Michelle. Okay, so there's been some more reaction on Reddit as far as David's jail conditions and what he's dealing with in there, not being on S-Watch. People are a bit surprised. So I hope he has no fans left to put money on his account. He always
Man, ain't nobody putting shit on his account. That nigga fell off now. Good luck trying to build back your fucking fan base, my nigga. Anybody that's going is already on the wrong side right now, bro. Anybody that's going wanting him to be free, saying hashtag set David free, my nigga. They should go right along with his ass, dog. What the
Stupid.
fuck?
I'm not gonna let you
will
get
That
the
young lady,
chance.
well,
bro. What
yeah,
the
he's in
fuck?
jail. It's rougher than prison anyway in many ways. People would have thought prison was way worse, but not all. More privileges in prison. Jail is a nasty, dirty holding tank, really. TMZ
Yeah, it
calling him a
is.
rapper at the end had to be racially motivated. He's not even close. Not even rapping. He ain't even really spitting bars. He barely could sing. He'll always be in segregation with his
I ain't gonna
nasty
lie. If he was in prison though, that nigga probably would have actually died. I ain't gonna hold you. Like if there's like some YNs in there that actually see what the fuck been going on with that nigga's case, that nigga probably would have actually died. I ain't gonna hold you.
weirdo shit on his
But I mean, that's why he's in a segregated cell though. So
paperwork. He'll never be accepted in general population. The only way he'll ever see Gen
see,
Pop is if he makes it to a prison yard at like Corcoran SHU, where the GBGs run shit and all of his cellmates are PDFs like he is. That's
see
crazy.
what I'm saying?
Says, doesn't matter where he goes, the Mexicans in Cali will find a way to get him eventually, even if it's years later. Don't forget, Tory Lanez was in PC when he got stabbed. Bad paperwork plus not a gang member equals no help. Saying, I'm worried about MS-13s whose members are mostly Salvadorian. Love hearts, all right? There might be get back for Celeste. There might be, look, I'm not even trying to make light of the situation, but Slide for Celeste might become a real thing, and
Uh,
I'm not condoning, not calling for violence.
no,
Someone might
now that you put it out in the air, it might be a real thing. But before you did that, I don't think it would be.
slide for Celeste. That'll be a hell of a video to make. All right, I'll be here
That would
following
be.
up if somebody slides for Celeste.
That would be fucking crazy as
Acting like
hell
Mexican
and
gangbangers who recruit
ironic.
children at 12 are going to be upset about David is definitely something special. If they're mad because they wanted to get to her first, they're saying that there's other let's not do all that anyway. LOL his
Let's not do what.
there's because they wanted to get
Acting like Mexican gangbangers who recruit children at 12 years old are gonna be all upset about David is definitely something special. If they are mad, it's because they wanted to get to her first. Fuck Mexican child molesting. That kind of sounds racially motivated.
to
I
her
ain't finna
first.
hold you.
They're saying that there's other let's not do all that anyway. LOL, his label dropped him. That money's going to stop coming in real quick. People need to stop streaming his music on Spotify. Apparently, his monthly
Is people
listeners have
still streaming? All
increased or
right, hold on.
something like that.
We're gonna do some quick Google searches real quick. I ain't even finna hold you. We're gonna do some quick Google searches real quick. D, what is it? 4BD. David monthly listeners. Spotify. As of late April 2026. Approximately at 2.2 to 2.5 million monthly listeners. Fucking still, dog. What the fuck? All right, and then this case blew up when around last year. So let's say about in 2025. Let's see. While his listenership factored significant streaming narratives, over 30 million was reported around May, known for his music commentary. So it went down from 30 million to like 22 million or 2 point, what was it, 22 million? So 22 million. So it only went down like what, 10, if even, if not like 8 million? That shit is crazy, dog. What the fuck? Only 8 million people really give a fuck. That shit is crazy. I mean, me personally, I never known that nigga music. I never listened to him like at all, actually, now that I think about it. So I don't know what his music really sounds like. I don't know if it sounds like something I'd get along to. But no, that shit is crazy, dog. Yeah, niggas need to stop. I ain't gonna lie. Cause at the end of the day, you're still supporting like him. You're still helping him support himself. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga need consequences behind this shit, bro. And no apologies gonna fix that shit.
Man, shake my head.
And then on top of that, if he has that many like listeners still streaming his shit, how is he going broke? I'm confused. Is the lawyer taking all of that money, bro? Like what the fuck? Like was it because of the tour he never got to finish? Like what the fuck?
Also, he should not have any kind of electronic access. Increased or coming in real quick. People need to stop streaming his music on Spotify. Apparently, his monthly listeners have increased or something like that. Man, shake my head. Also, he should not have any kind of electronic access. Period. Sick fuck. Hope it stays that way. Says if he can't use a phone regularly, he isn't getting a tablet either. Maybe he can get commissary. It would seem his parents would put money on it if he could use it. Saying David is so dumb, he probably thinks he can play Fortnite when he goes to prison. Either way, justice for Celeste is all that matters. I hope he rots in a jail cell or gets the DP. If he does get extradited
I want to know
immediately,
what
he
made that
doesn't
nigga
deserve
so
to breathe the
cocky to
air
think that
she
that
doesn't
nigga
get
wasn't gonna
to.
get caught. On my life, that
So
was not his first body. You
there's
know, I saw something today by Mac Mula. Like, even he was saying that shit, bro. Like, this could not be his first body by how cocky that nigga was, you know what I'm saying, acting, bro. Like, hold on. Let's do another Google research. What is this statistic? Like, what was that? LAPD? Chances. um, Low likelihood, violent crimes, high likelihood. 101 clearance. Rate of homicides, it's just so arrest decline. The LAPD made 44 fewer arrests compared to a decade ago. See, that's what the fuck I'm saying, bro. That shit is crazy as hell, dog. That shit is crazy as hell. And then usually when niggas get that cocky like that, where like nigga wasn't even panicking at the fucking like at his fucking trial. See what I'm saying? Usually when niggas get cocky like that is because they already know they're gonna pass it or they think they are. You know what I'm saying? So and if you already think you're gonna pass it, then nigga, it's obviously not your first time. You obviously gotten away with this shit before by how cocky you acted. You see what I'm saying? Like, think about it though, nigga. If any of y'all have been charged with murder, bro, and it's your first time, you're not finna just go home and start playing Fortnite, fucking Valorant and shit. You're not finna do that, nigga. Your heart bumping. You gonna start rethinking shit. You gonna be paranoid as fuck. Like, no way. This was his first. No way, bro. No way. This was his first time, gang. I'm calling it.
uh there's
Either that or that nigga is just genuinely slow.
a little update. Hang on. So the last thing I want to leave you with that's interesting, and this might be a little sign of things to come, a lot of people have been drawing parallels to the Ian Watkins case. He was an
Who's that?
English singer, pop singer, or kind of rock and roll singer who was convicted of very, very serious crimes against children, and he ended up getting a big sentence, and he ended up getting murked in jail. You might remember a few months ago when he got killed, I made a video saying we smoking that Ian Watkins pack. This guy is an
Oh,
absolute despicable
I remember
scumbag
the video. I
who
still don't
committed crimes
remember who he
against
is.
children, literally babies. And so he
Oh
really deserved to
shit.
go out like
He did
that,
what?
like who committed crimes against children, literally babies.
Oh
And so
hell
he
no.
really deserved to go out like that. And you never know, we might see David go out the same way, okay? And people saying, thinking about it, David's case lines up with the Lost Prophets case in quite a few ways. He was born and raised elsewhere and either was or at least seemed to be a relatively normal guy. Early family life, very close to the church. He blew up, got famous, and started working and living in LA around those kinds of people. Like a big star, it went to his head. He ended up falling in with the wrong people, got on hard drugs, notably meth in both cases. This drug use would tie directly into the later depraved, sickening acts against minors. They leaned into emo aesthetics in their art. They both had a very similar way of trying to appeal to kids through current trends and memes. Ian's mega lols around 2010 might as well have been David's Labubu toss of his time. Both hinted at their crimes in their music videos, with David's allusions to homicide, murder, and death all over his music, particularly in Romantic Homicide, with him killing a Celeste lookalike, and Lost Prophets doing a notorious, horribly aged Mr. Rogers themed music video for Town Called Hypocrisy. Both were discovered to have illegal material on their devices during the case, as well as multiple victims. I think the only real difference is that, as far as we know, David didn't target nearly as young, and I don't think there was a murder in Ian's case, but in both cases they deserve the same fate. Ian spent over a decade of his life behind bars, with other inmates siphoning off all of his money, and then when it went dry, he was killed, hoping similar for David. Ian Watkins was also a meth user, which fuels the most depraved behavior, but in no way an excuse for anything either of them did. But it's lucky that David never reached the level of fame and power that Ian did. It could have been so much worse.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
and Ian Watkins' password on his computer was IF kids. That was
Imagine if that nigga became as big as fucking Diddy. Imagine like the type of power that nigga could have had. And that's what you always gotta think about whenever you think of celebrities, bro. Before you go all in and become a fan of a celebrity, bro, think about that shit. Think about how many wrong people make famous every single day, and imagine them being as big as Diddy, if not bigger. See what I'm saying? Like, shit is a scary ass thought. David would have been getting away with a lot more shit, but who knows, having fucking what's that shit called? Fucking, and could have been having spiritual sacrifice parties and shit like that. Like, hell no, bro.
his password on. This guy was disgusting. Okay, I don't even want to get too into what was going on, all right? He was
I'm also gonna be talking to myself as well. I'm just okay, bet.
apprehended in 2012 on drug charges. He got bail. He'd already attracted attention from law enforcement. Apparently, he was smuggling cocaine and meth from LA. Then he was arrested for drug possession, and that he possessed an obscene image of somebody shouldn't have. He pled not guilty to the image after being granted a
Let's see
bail,
an
but
image of what?
somebody shouldn't
CP?
have. He pled not guilty
CP. Yep.
to the
Okay.
image after being granted a
So
bail, but
just like David. David got caught with CP and his shit too. Didn't he? Oh well, we about to watch a video on that after this.
then he ended up getting caught up for even more serious charges. So I don't think many people knew this, but before the band broke up, there was a show on the Warped Tour towards '09 to '11. We realized that Ian had a
Thank
depressingly
you.
sad drug addiction. It just snuck up on us because unfortunately we were living in LA. San David tossing Labubus, kind of similar to what this guy was doing on stage. And in the end, he ended up getting smoked in the prison by another inmate. Okay, and the guy that killed him is low key, like low key gone down a bit of a legend. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that was Megalols for sure. But look, I do think that he might be in trouble in the jail. He's got a very serious
For sure that
situation on his
nigga finna be in
record. Who
trouble in the
knows if the
jail.
Hispanic gang members might want to slide for Celeste? Who knows if he might even end up hurting himself? But look, I'll keep you guys posted if I hear anything else about his jail conditions, about anything else to do with what's going on behind bars. And I will definitely. I'm plotting out my next moves. I'm definitely going to go to another court date. I can't quite make the next ones, but I will be back attending in person with David.
I'm not gonna lie, I would not be surprised if the nigga did end up. Oh, sorry, sweetie. No, you good. If the nigga did end up, you know, committing self homicide, uh, I would not be surprised only due to all the shit that's been, you know what I'm saying, happening. And on top of that, like I said, he's in a segregated jail or cell alone already. So all that's there is your mental capacity. All that's there is your thoughts. You see what I'm saying? And we already knew this nigga was mentally fucked up from the beginning. You could look at his ass and tell he's mentally fucked up, bro. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was that. I definitely don't think slide for Celeste will be a thing. I don't think that for anything. Um, I think he might get a bad beating on, but I don't think he would get killed. There's a lot of pedos in jail, just based off of that hasn't been killed. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know though, cause he did do some wild ass shit, like body found in pieces type of shit. So who knows? And then on top of that, he is famous as hell too. So shit. But I don't know. Diddy's in jail right now, and ain't shit happened to him. Who knows?